Hello again. Gentlemen, in 24 hours, the day will be upon us. Mark your calendar, email your 18 Chinese friends. 24 hours after this video releases, I will be driving around My Summer Car's dirt track. I'm doing this until this number reaches 0, or until I give up. Whichever comes first. But, you might be asking, why, Mart? Why do this to yourself? Well, let me explain. A couple of weeks ago, I released this short. A simple challenge. For every like it got, I'd drive 1 meter, and for every new subscriber it got, I'd drive another 20 meters around My Summer Car's dirt track in this. I thought this was a funny idea. Perhaps a little bit silly. I mean, surely not that many people were going to subscribe. Shit. 50,000 subscribers and 250,000 likes amounts to over 1,250 kilometers of driving. But it gets worse. Yes, that's right, during the stream, you can contribute to the distance. If you like the stream, 5 more meters, subscribe, 20 more meters, donate money, 10 meters per US dollar, become a member, 50 more meters, send a chat message as a member, 50 centimeters, buy a frog plush, 600 meters, or best of all, purchase the 500 US dollar idiot tier, 20,000 meters. Not only does it add 20 kilometers, but it also does this on screen for about 30 seconds. Oh yeah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Simply phenomenal. And we've got a multiplier. 1,000 viewers adds another 0.1 to the multiplier, so if we get 10,000 viewers, all of the incentives give 2 times the distance. Okay, so that's pretty bad, but it gets worse. The car I'm using for this challenge is this, Satsuma. This is the only car that the distance was counted, and this car really sucks. It is easily the least reliable vehicle ever put to a road. Sometimes, the radiator doesn't work properly, the battery has gone flat, the car is on fire, one of the pistons has decided enough is enough and fired itself out of the engine, the car is missing a wheel. If anything like this comes up during the stream, I have to diagnose the problem and fix the car. If I'm ever in some sort of pickle, I've placed down a few cars spaced along the road for me to use. And if I'm ever in some sort of true quagmire, I've got my cousin, who is both a saint who will pick me up when my car breaks down, and also the devil himself who will not hesitate to smash into my car head-on at 150 kilometers an hour. The track also isn't doing me any favors. It starts in town, goes through this farmland, past the repair shop, crosses over the train tracks, past the turn-off to my home, past Grandma's house, back over the train tracks again, and onto the highway, which takes me back into town. The round-trip distance is around 11 kilometers, and I'm gonna have to do this trip at least 113 times. Hello again. Welcome back. You and I have met in a bit of a pickle. You see, I'm stuck.
The Rage Quitter.
To the nether! Ow!
Who's hacking?
I could have beat him in a 1v1. Oh, well, I'm out of blocks now. Save me! No!
I do not want to use my totem. Don't.
Nowadays, YouTube is full of sensationalist titles like the one you just clicked on, but I'm happy to say I can actually back this one up. This mod is called Axiom, and it's about to completely revolutionize building in Minecraft. During this video, we're going to take a look at 3 ways this completely changes the game, and we're even going to have a quick chat with the developers. But first, a bit of background. For basically as long as I can remember, all we've had in Minecraft are tools like World Edit and Archeon. And don't get me wrong, these tools are great, but they can be very limiting. See, Minecraft is what's called a voxel game. Voxels are basically just the 3D equivalent of a pixel. So in the same way that an image is made up of tons of little squares, Minecraft is made up of tons of different cubes. And so when you make a Minecraft build, you're essentially 3D modeling, but you're stuck working within the confines of the game. There's no real way to zoom out and take control the way you would in a 3D modeling software. Like, take a look at the UI for GoPaint. You need to hold a feather in your hand, and then you get this menu. Not super intuitive. And most of World Edit doesn't even have a user interface. You just have to rely on hand-type commands. But there are plugins like Block Blender that allow you to convert objects from a 3D software to Minecraft. So why not design something in Blender and then bring it into Minecraft? Well, there are 2 issues. First, 3D software is just very difficult to learn. take it from an animation student. But more importantly, it's because most 3D software uses polygons instead of voxels. This means that the objects are made out of little flat shapes that come together to form a mesh. Now there are some programs out there for 3D modeling with voxels, but none of them have ever really played nice with Minecraft. And just think about it, there are thousands of people in the world who build in Minecraft as their full-time job, whether they're map makers, YouTubers, or server owners. These people are literally building professionals, and they deserve a professional tool for building in Minecraft, and it's finally here.
So for instance, if we wanted to create a roof to this building, we can do so very, very easily using the smooth tool like this, and then you can put it down.
So Axiom opened up for beta testing on August 6th, and I grabbed it right away. And while I show you guys around, I want to tell you the 3 reasons why I think this is so groundbreaking. Number 1 is accessibility. A lot of building tools are plugins, not mods, meaning they only work on servers. Not only that, but they're often paywalled. Plus, it's hard to even find the commands, some of which are buried in 100-page documents that you need a Google Drive link for. Axiom is available in single player and soon will be released for servers too. The mod is super intuitive. It adds stuff right onto the Minecraft hotbar. So for example, right at the end of the hotbar, we have these builder tools. If we hold down Alt, we can see there's a move, clone, stack, smear, and extrude tool. And if we just select one, they're extremely easy to understand. You get this awesome preview of what you're doing before you confirm. And one of my favorite things is you can just hit Control Z to undo. By holding Alt, you can also save hotbars and switch between the game modes really easily. So you can see I have some of my favorite palettes saved right on here. And then there's these little toggleable modes over here that are insanely useful. For example, Enhanced Flight gives you more precise flight in creative mode. Notice how I'm not sliding around. This slider here actually controls fly speed. Whee! The bulldozer is really fun. You can just kind of hold. One of my favorites has to be the replace mode. You can just hold down right click. Oh, it's so satisfying. And it even matches the block states. And there's a ton of other useful stuff like this force place, which kind of lets you place anything anywhere. But notice how that just popped off? If you turn on this no updates, it actually won't update the blocks either. And then last but not least, they have this tinker mode, which is kind of like the debug stick. Just super useful stuff, but we've literally just scratched the surface. The mod really opens up when you hit right shift. And this brings me to the second reason I think this mod is such a paradigm shift, the visual feedback. I cannot stress enough how clunky it feels to build using commands. Being able to see a live preview of what you are doing is so amazing. It really feels like having a huge handicap removed from the game. Which brings me to the final reason I think this mod is so insane. And that's all the new tools this mod offers. Not only does it replace a ton of other mods, but it adds tools that I've never even seen before. They've got a noise painter where you can preview the noise pattern that you're about to make. They have this tool called the Clentaminator, which can make these different patterns. And guys, this is literally like my first 10 minutes in this program. I can't even imagine what my workflow is gonna look like after using this for a couple months. Now, I don't wanna show you all the tools just because this isn't meant to be a tutorial, so I highly encourage you to download the mod and try it for yourself, and join the Discord and give your feedback to the developers. So now that we've seen a little bit of the mod, let's give the developers a call and see what they have to say. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello.
This is Soko and Mulberry. These guys are super chill. The first thing I asked them is how Axiom got started.
It originally started with me contacting Mole for a commission to make a mod that enhanced existing building tools such as World Edit and Voxel Sniper. I wanted to help him out. I started doing some work for him, and over time that grew into like a friendship.
Me and Soko are working on this, MMORPG, and
Mistake Silly Goose.
the existing.
Hi Barbie.
Sup? How you going?
Mistake Silly Goose. Did I find the right depression club?
This isn't a depression club. This is an oppression club. No way. This is a oppression club. Forgot about that. Anyway.
Lofiloft _ sup.
Hey, what's up? Loaf Loft, how you going?
tools weren't there, so I would say, oh, I want a way to do this, and so I'd add a way to do that, and then eventually got to a point where it's like, okay, we have this very useful tool for us, why don't we just release it for everyone to use? And that's, you know, that's where Axiom came from.
As you can see, the scale of this is quite large. Like this bay over here, it's like another like 1,500 blocks over from the city. The cities are in that direction, like that. And I've made this in like no time, basically. I so want to see other builders use it just because it's changed everything about building for me. It's made it more fun, it's made it more possible to do large projects, and I want to see what other people can do.
There's a lot of new tools with new algorithms that just don't exist anywhere else. The smooth tool is a good example of one of them because the algorithm is completely different from any other smooth tool. The main thing we're just looking for is people to, you know, try out the mod and test it. Further down the road, Axiom is going to have a commercial version aimed at like professional builders, so people who are, you know, creating like Java Edition servers, Bedrock Marketplace maps, like those sort of people with, you know, a few additional features and stuff to like suit their workflows.
We want to empower everyone to be able to build easier and better as well as faster. So that's our primary goal. Be sure to share it with your friends and let us know what you would like to see from us as well.
There's still so much I didn't have time to talk about. You can see your undo history. You can easily change game rules. You can create complex masks for your tools. You can create complex selections and then modify those selections. You can even make blueprints of your creations that come with a rendered thumbnail and a tagging system. I want you guys to know, I am not exaggerating when I say this is about to change building forever. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so I trapped 150 Minecraft players in a massive Bedrock prison that I built to torture them, and the only way they can escape is by getting through 10 of the most deceptive.
Few of the monsters that evolution created have been so successful at hurting us as the variola virus, responsible for smallpox. The carnage it caused was so terrible and merciless that it compelled humankind for the first time to act truly globally. It was one of the greatest wins of our species over the ancient powers of nature, all made possible by cows. Variola is a virus, a tiny machine that only seeks to reproduce itself. Evidence of it has been found in Egyptian mummies and in writing from India and China as old as 3,000 years. 1,300 years ago, smallpox killed up to a third of Japan's population. By the 1600s, it was one of the major causes of death worldwide. In late 18th century Europe, it killed 400,000 a year. Every third person who went blind did so because of this virus. Even in the 20th century, a hot second ago in history, it still killed at least 300 million people. Smallpox is an abusive monster that returns over and over and over again, killing, maiming, and disrupting societies. How could variola be so incredibly deadly for so long, and how could we have forgotten its horror so quickly? In 2023, there are only 2 laboratories left where the living virus is officially stored for research, in Kosovo, Russia, and Atlanta, USA, which is certainly a good idea because what could possibly go wrong? Let's say that through an unfortunate series of events, the virus got out and you got infected. What would happen to you? How smallpox kills. Variola is highly infectious and catches a ride in small droplets you breathe in. Immediately, it begins to infect the cells that line your throat and starts killing them to cause chaos. Why? To trick your body into giving it a lift. Whenever cells in your body die a violent death, your immune cells immediately stream to the site of infection to help out. In this case, that backfires horribly. As immune cells begin cleaning up dead cells, eating viruses and killing infected cells, variola infects a crucial cell of your immune system, your dendritic cells, intelligence cells that gather information and leave the battlefield to get help. They enter your lymphatic system, a highway network that spans your entire body and connects hundreds of immune bases. In these bases, your heavy defenses are activated and should be the last place an enemy would want to invade, but variola wants to get here. For about 12 days, the virus quietly infects civilian and immune cells, jumping from cell to cell, infecting more and more of them. At some point, a critical threshold is reached and variola starts its attack for real. Millions of viruses use the lymphatic highway to spill into your blood and organs, infecting your whole body. Suddenly, variola is everywhere. But despite this global attack, your adaptive immune system is struggling to wake up. Your immune cells look for and use critical transmitters called interferons to mobilize the body against viruses. Interferons, as the name suggests, interfere. significantly slowing down virus infections, but also quickly activating millions of antivirus weapons. But variola is able to deactivate interferons, which stuns the antivirus side of your defense system. Other systems would usually help, like the complement system, a sort of mobile minefield that can destroy viruses. But variola manages to shut this down too. And so with little resistance, variola spreads everywhere and infects billions of your cells all over your body. Among the infected are your capillaries, the smallest blood vessels in your body, which die in great numbers. All this death activates an immune cell that you really don't need right now, but that's attracted by death, the neutrophil. Normally an efficient killer of invaders great and small, it's not very effective against smallpox. And even worse, neutrophils fight by vomiting deadly chemicals, which kills even more of your cells. On top of that, they order inflammation, fluids streaming from your blood vessels into your tissue. All over your body, as first millions, then billions of your cells die, you get a rash that only gets worse and worse. Pus and cellular junk fills it up as your body swells up with hundreds of lesions all over your skin and inside, even on your organs, all filled with billions of variola viruses. Now, the critical phase begins. As you fight for survival, you burn up in a high fever. Thousands of battlegrounds drain your blood of fluid that streams into your tissue and organs. Blood clotting appears all over your body, while floods of toxins from dead cells build up and can cause organs to fail. Your lungs fill up with fluid, making it harder and harder to breathe. One of two things happens now. Either your immune system wrestles back control, heavy weapons have been dispatched, killing infected cells, cleaning up the thousands of infections one by one, killing variola wherever it can be found, so you can slowly begin to recover. The immune system will forever remember variola, making you immune forever. Or you die, overwhelmed by the infection and your immune system's panicked reaction to the body-wide infection. About a third of people who contract smallpox don't survive. And if you survive, you're very likely branded by scars and may even lose your eyesight or hearing. For thousands of years, this terrible disease ravaged the world, leaving death and destruction, traumatized and maimed survivors. Until one day, humanity said, enough. Why don't we have smallpox anymore? Smallpox is one of the worst diseases humanity has ever known. A murderous, family-destroying, life-ruining monster. There was nothing you could do for the infected, but people noticed that if you survived, you were immune. So out of desperation, they came up with the dangerous practice of variolation. Take scabs from an infected person that had a mild case of smallpox, let them dry out, and grind them to a fine powder. Then blow the powder up the nostril of the patient or scratch their skin with it. If things went well, they only got a mild version of smallpox and gained immunity against the disease. Variolation probably worked because it introduced variola in a part of the body the virus wasn't prepared for, disabling most of its nasty tricks. And because the inoculation was left to dry out, that damaged the virus so it couldn't cause the full disease. Unfortunately, 2 to 3% of all patients still died because they got the smallpox or suffered other diseases as a result of treatment. Still, smallpox was such a horrible and to some degree unavoidable disease that people took the risk for themselves and their children. Variolation spread around the globe while variola continued to kill millions. A victory over the virus only became a real possibility when scientists realized that it wasn't necessary to variolate with the real smallpox disease, but much safer to use material from cowpox, a variant that affected, surprise, cows. A truly revolutionary step, and only a few years later, this led to one of humankind's most outstanding achievements, vaccinations. The innovation was simple. Instead of using the real virus to train the immune system, use a related virus, cowpox, that was only mild but also gave you immunity. Still, it would take another 200 years, countless individuals fighting the monster where they could, delivering vaccines to the most remote places on Earth. All the while, the disease ravaged on, killing over 300 million people in the 20th century alone. In 1966, the World Health Organization decided that humanity had to come together in a final, major effort. A global smallpox news network based on residents in hotspots was created, tackling local outbreaks of the virus. Cases were encircled, vaccines given, preventing further spread. Smallpox only infects humans, so if we stopped the human transmission chain, we would starve the virus. The last naturally occurring infection was in 1977, and in 1980, just shy of 200 years since the first vaccine was used, smallpox was declared eradicated. Variola, the scourge of humanity, was dead. No more children would be killed by it, no more mothers or brothers or uncles or cousins. It's hard to convey to people around today what an incredible win this was. One of the cruelest, most dangerous monsters that has hunted us for literally millennia was slain by us, apes with pointy needles. Today, we live in a time of enlightenment. None of us alive today are haunted by the spectre of smallpox. This light is not natural. It was set in the sky by the sheer will of humankind wanting to be safe from the monsters haunting us. But because we live without them, we forget that they ever existed and that they are real. That the diseases might reawaken, or new ones might be brewing in jungles, wet markets, or laboratories, ready to strike us once more. We forget what an incredible gift vaccines are and how hard we had to battle to get them. We are still protected by the light, but it's cooling each and every day, and we owe it to those who will come after us to make sure it doesn't go out. We killed one monster. We can do it again. This video was supported by Open Philanthropy. Do you want to continue learning about the fascinating world of biology? We've got you. Let's take a real close look at the human.
I have a sneaky suspicion, just a sneaky one, that I need to touch on the shears, which I definitely can. See, this is why you should never listen to chat, okay? This is why I should never I'm never listening to you ever again. I'm never, ever listening to you ever again. You do need Silk Touch. I knew you needed Silk Touch. You've just lost all credit. I apologize profusely. I apologize so much. I am sorry. I will listen to you all the time. You are always right and never wrong. Okay? Let's act like nothing has happened.
Hello fellow engineers and welcome to I Am Future, a super cozy post-apocalyptic survival game where basically everyone has left the earth and this greedy old bird manages to wake us up from a 6-year-long hypersleep where we find ourselves on the roof of a derelict skyscraper.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Order Terra Permacraft. So between the episodes I actually used the time and melted down a lot of the ores I got from just spending a lot of time at the base. So the generator was running all the time. And actually a couple times over and put some of the crushed ores into the toolboxes. But yeah, now finally I melted all of it down. So I got a ton of copper blocks. So all of the copper ingots I got from here. Carried over, turned into sheets, and then I crafted copper blocks out of those. So at this point, almost got 5 toolboxes completely filled. This one is only partially filled, but almost 5,000 copper blocks in the toolboxes, and then some. I have a project in mind that will actually do a lot of copper blocks, so that's why I had tried to keep the copper ore. Probably wasted some of the crushed gold ore at some point. I'm also not entirely sure what to do with all the gold at this point. So we can make a lot of sheets, got 5 toolboxes worth of sheets. But I'm not even sure what to do with this stuff. Maybe we can like apply it to blocks at some point, but as far as I know, that's something that Deployer can't do because I got a shift right click, Deployer can't do that. So for large scale building, this will also not be nice. I mean, it's also not listed a lot of crafting recipes. So I guess at this point I'm really thinking about just destroying all of the additional gold ore we get at this point because I can't imagine any use for it right now. Anyway, then next there was a lot of iron. I made more cast iron ingots so we can make more drills. Because I still got a ton of crushed iron ore left, so in case I make igneous alloy. I can probably make a couple hundred more drills. And then I also made some red steel and blue steel again. Got 80 of these for each. In case blues break, like the shovels isn't looking too good. Or I want to make a bucket again, or maybe I want to make some blue steel armor as well. See how that looks. I think I'm just gonna stick now to red steel tools, but yeah, maybe some different armor just for fun. Neat. Okay, then I still had some iron left over, and I put it into the train track making machine again. And we got 7,000 train tracks at this point, so definitely enough to get us all the way to the big lake. We're only like 3,000 blocks missing, but we will also need some building blocks as a support block below. Well, otherwise it would kind of look weird. I've been thinking, which kind of building block machine or assembly line do we have at this point? So we can make kind of framed glass semi-automatically, and we can always take cobble, sand and gravel from the rhyolite generator. We don't really have a building block making machine that is like fully automatic. So that's something I would want. Before, yeah, of course I dug up andesite cobble and then in a manual process pretty much, making a lot of mortar, always with the barrels. I turned everything into those bricks. At this point I don't have a lot of andesite cobble left over again, so I'm gonna keep some in case I need to make changes to the house. We're used to stuff everywhere, but from now on I think for the train at least, I want to make rhyolite stone bricks. Kinda like the look of the stone bricks anyway, a combination with train tracks. Something like, you know, planks or some wooden stuff could also burn down. Also the best choice. Concrete would look kind of odd, so I guess yeah, a stone brick factory would be neat. So I'm gonna actually try to make the whole factory from scratch. But there's a lot we actually need to look into, and especially numbers that I need to know, because how much mortar will I need, and how many, I don't know, mechanical presses do I need. So instead of just trying to eyeball it and come up with a system that kind of works, now I actually want to do the math and do some proper engineering and build a system where everything is planned. But of course, that's best to do in creative. Alright, let's go. So one design goal this time is definitely to make it quite compact. It should have a small brick ideally. Okay, so definitely need a rhyolite generator for the rhyolite bricks. So this time I actually want to use a different approach. Last time I used drills. This time I'm going to use the concept that I've seen in robotic using. It's the fact that two blocks can't occupy the same space. We've seen it when I opened the cow barn door the wrong way once. Some blocks got broken. And we can actually also use this for a cobble generator. We can also abuse some of the Terra Firma craft mechanics. So here we basically have water in a corner and then lava or molten metal on top. If you now have a mechanical bearing, which I have below here, rotate those blocks, basically turn them into entity form and spin them, then new cobble will generate while the other cobble blocks are still in entity form. And then after a while they get placed back and basically just replace the old blocks. Okay, let's actually try this out. Just have a engine here on top. Then we can provide like a pulse to the sequence gear shift. Okay, this was too fast. So we definitely need to find like a speed where this still works. Yeah, 64 is still good. Okay, I can also slow it down so you can see what's happening. So we slowly turn this. Slower. Slowly turn this, the new blocks are forming. Then the old ones get just rotated in and replace those. There we go. Okay, then we can have hoppers directly below, picking up the loose rhyolite. Just a question, how many items do we actually get from doing this? That's something I've tested before. So if you break one of those raw or hardened rhyolite blocks, you'll always get between 1 and 4 loose rhyolite, and it averages out at 2.5. It's just good to know all the numbers, because then we also need how many machines we need later to process all that stuff. Okay, it's just a question, how quickly can we actually rotate this? So it doesn't help if you just spin it around really quickly, so you always have to stop it after 90 degree turn. So you could just now attach some sort of a clock to the gear shift and see if this works. So at first it actually seems like you can spin this every 8 ticks. So you can see the blocks are breaking, getting more and more rhyolite. But after a while, the sequence gear shift actually pops off. It's kind of interesting. The same happens to a clutch, by the way. But it always happens to use the 8-tick clock. Okay, now the hoppers are filled up. But let's focus on the gear shift. At some point it just pops. This really reminded me of a torch burnout from vanilla, but it takes a bit longer. I tried around with this already, so I really wanted to know what's the fastest we can run this at. And it seemed like it also happened at 9 ticks, but it took more than a minute until it actually popped off. 10 ticks, I haven't seen it yet. So I guess a 10 tick clock is probably the fastest we can run this with. If we go to 12 ticks, yeah, it seems pretty good. Because it's still quite fast compared to the drills, it's definitely way faster. So the next machine we need is actually the saw. So you can either use the chisel and craft the loose rhyolite into rhyolite bricks, or use the saw. You can, for example, just throw the items on a belt and the saw, makes bricks out of those. Okay, there's multiple ways we can set this up. So we can either just put a chute above and also insert it like this, or we run it on the belt. Not entirely sure what's actually preferable. Is there any difference in speed? To be precise, it takes 4 ticks to process one loose rhyolite, and it takes 6 ticks with this one here. Okay, I guess despite it being a bit larger, we probably wanna go for this one. Oh, I really like those numbers. So if you use the saw with the belt, then we can saw 300 bricks per minute, and if you break the rhyolite here, the cobble generator, every 10 ticks, so 120 times per minute, you get 2.5 rhyolite, loose rhyolite on average. It's also exactly 300. So per basically upper here, you just need one saw. Fortunately, we can't just put the saw directly below. Currently, we need those belts to make it fast. I tried around here a little bit as well to see why this one is quicker, but I'm not sure. I guess it kind of makes sense because we use external force to kind of accelerate the stone and just glide through the saw quicker while you just drop it in from the top. I don't know. But need to get all the stuff on the belt somehow. So I was not happy at all that I actually have to use belts because this would make it quite bulky. So a little bit of more testing. Apparently the chute is actually responsible for slowing everything down. Actually just put a chute up here and drop stuff down. You still get the 4 tick speed. It's not related to the belt at all. I think it's just because we have a vanilla item. Anyway, so what we can do is basically then just have the saw slower. Okay, so I have to say I really like it. It's still quite compact and super fast. So we're getting 1200 of those bricks at the moment. Last question, how much mortar do we even need in order to match this? So 1200 bricks. Then we need 960 mortar per minute as well. That's quite a lot. Okay, let's see. So in order to make 960 mortar per minute, we need 1 sand and 100 millibuckets of lime water for 16. We need 60 sand and basically 12 flux. For 100 millibuckets of lime water, I need 1 flux. Okay, 60 sand, 12 flux per minute. So we can definitely make the sand with a smaller contraption here on the side, but making flux within the same machine, this would be way too much effort, because I basically need to make something like marble or limestone from scratch, and this means making a rhyolite generator first, all kinds of things, like making clay, making all kinds of dirts, just to get the limestone in order to get 12 flux per minute. Nah. So I'm just gonna provide a chest there. I mean, 720 flux per hour is not a lot, and we're getting a really decent amount of bricks there. So I guess making something that's like fully automatic from scratch is doable, but in our case, it would be just way too much effort. Okay, then we need the machine that makes the 60 sand per minute now. Actually, it might be best if we think this through. So we did a really good job making the machine compact so far. But this might not mean much if 95% of the build is just mechanical crafters, and right now it really looks like it. But this is here the recipe to make the brick blocks, and there's no convenient alternative. Like we had before with the sticks and the clay, we were able to use mechanical press instead of the more complicated crafting recipe. Here we have to use a crafter, and the recipe is also an inconvenient one, like sea lantern. or TNT from vanilla. So we can use, for example, mechanical arm. There's access to a brick and mortar here on the side to fill the funnels. So those act as filters for the mechanical crafter. Yeah. You could maybe do instead is also try to use hoppers to get around using the mechanical arm. Might be an option. And of course, hoppers, in case we use hundreds or thousands of them, we had a little bit of lag that we don't necessarily want at the base. Mechanical arm can be turned off at the end. Yeah, okay, so right now Randy is actually at 64 RPM, so we don't use 4000 stress units just for the mechanical crafter, which runs half the time. So right now I'm getting 27 brick blocks per minute. I've been talking about getting 1200 bricks and 960 mortar per minute. Yeah, you can do the math. You would need like 30 of those mechanical crafter setups in order to do for all of those items. Oh my god. So what I'm definitely gonna try is to use 2 mechanical arms. But I already tried this. This wouldn't work if you set them up the similar inputs and outputs, because then they can confuse each other. So I guess what would make sense is if you have mechanical crafter dedicated to, well, if you have 9 mechanical crafters actually dedicated to 1 to each slot. This might speed things up a bit. Maybe try that. Okay, so using 9 mechanical arms is definitely a possibility. Also really looks funny. And it does speed things up, but it's still quite slow. So roughly every 2.5 seconds we can craft 4 bricks this way. So we can get almost 100 bricks per minute. Okay, it's still not a lot. But maybe we should actually just restrict our brick farm to something like this. Then just to slow down the cobble generator. I mean, 100 bricks per minute doesn't sound a lot. We're talking about thousands of bricks before, but it's like 6,000 bricks per hour still. I mean, if we lot at the base, like after 10 hours we get 60,000 building blocks. It's actually quite a lot. And also, yeah, this setup here, now with the mechanical crafters and the robot arms, running at full speed already needs 8,000 stress units. It's getting expensive rather quickly. Now if you wanna deal with the output of the cobble generator here, or the brick output, you would need, I think, 10 of those setups, pretty much, or even a bit more. So like 80,000 stress units to deal with the items. That's quite a lot. It seems like a sweet spot in terms of stress unit usage could be running it at 128 RPM. So this way it takes exactly 3.6 seconds to make 4 bricks. So we could get a bit over 64 per minute. Okay, so maybe if we go for 2 crafting setups, have like the chests here in the middle of 18 of those robotic arms. That might be a good approach. Here's another optimization. We could also use the mechanical arms for 2 of those crafting setups. There's hardly any idle time this way, so no stress units are being wasted. I also set up the smart chutes here to contain exactly, in this case, 10 Bryolite brick and 8 mortar. Because this way it can't happen that all of the arms try to grab items and then there's not enough left over. Okay, so with this setup here, there's 7,000 stress units. We're getting about 125 stone bricks per minute. I guess we can still double this up. Just have a double chest there, and here a second smart chute, then a robot arms on the other side as well. Then we would get like 250 stone brick per minute. That's actually a good number. That's 15,000 per hour. Yeah, that's a reasonable amount. Okay, that would mean we would only need a quarter of this brick generator. I guess one approach into the or we could do this differently is actually flipping the stone this way. This would also work. Okay, so if you just time this right, then you could also have the same stone generator being used for the sand we need to make the mortar. So we need basically for every 5 stone we make bricks out of, we need 1 stone that we turn into sand for the mortar. In case we have this like 6 long, and yeah, first 5 would feed the saw, and the last one would make mortar. I guess that would be a nice approach as well. So time for another progress update. I'm at a point now where I'm getting bricks and mortar, so I could either craft it myself, put it in a storage, or yeah, we can add the crafting system to it later. I think I also did a decent job trying to make it quite compact, because if you spend even more time on this, maybe start from scratch again, trying to beat the compactness of this, you can even make it more compact, but there's only a limited amount of time you want to spend on each project, and I think this is quite decent. I already spent actually quite some time on this, couple hours went to this. Okay, let's take a look. So with this cobble generator, that, yeah, I just like the idea of having 1 cobble generator, not 2, so we don't split it up. So bricks, got 5 stones for that, and 1 just for the sand. Okay, so 5 hoppers feed those chutes. We drop the loose rhyolite, saw it into bricks, and yeah, we can get it from here. Okay, let's take a look at what happens to the loose rhyolite if we actually turn it into mortar, because that's a bit more interesting. So we use the hoppers to put the loose rhyolite directly into the basin. The hoppers can keep up with the speed here, so we just turn the stone every 50 ticks. That's, yeah, enough for the hoppers to process all of the items. We actually run this quicker, then yeah, we would need again the chutes below the hoppers and so on, but yeah, this time the hoppers can keep up. Okay, then yeah, use the mechanical press to make rhyolite cobble. Just a question, how fast do we actually need to run the mechanical press? So technically we would need to activate this every 4 seconds, because we're making 15 cobble per minute, but that's what we need. So I looked into this. Running it at 32 RPM is fine, because then it takes 3.2 seconds to make 1 cobble, so we always get a little bit of leeway as well. Actually quite interesting. So if you actually run this at, for example, 128 RPM, then it takes 16 ticks to process 1 item, and you'd think if you run it at 256, it would take 8 ticks, so be twice as fast, but it's not the case. It's something I observed with a couple of machines by now, that the most stress unit efficient point when it comes to speed as well is 192 RPM, because there the increased speed is pretty much linear, and then from 192, yeah, in case of the mixer I think it's actually less to 256. The increase in speed is no longer linear. So if you run this at 256 RPM, it takes 10 ticks to process something, which compared to 192, which takes 12 ticks. Also observe this with the mechanical crafter. So always running at 256 of course is the fastest, but it yeah, gets less efficient when it comes to the stress units. But yeah, since we don't need to worry about speed here anyway and so on, so 32 is a good number to run this at. Okay, so next we actually need to process the cobble into sand. That means we need to put it through the grinding wheels twice, and I actually spent quite some time on coming up with a system that reuses the same grinding wheels. Okay, so what happens now here is we got a filter. This drops cobble and then also gravel onto a belt here and gets transported to the crushing wheel. On the other side we get the gravel or the sand in the end out, and it's getting actually collected by the funnel. So it goes off the belt, turns into a vanilla item, and is immediately picked up by the funnel here, put into the same vault. Then in case we have gravel, we just drop it again until we get sand. Okay, the next step is we take the sand and inject it here with this funnel into a basin directly again. And here we also do 2 steps. So we got a pump that pumps in water, got it from the source here. And here we got the flux on the side. That's something, yeah, as I said, gotta supply manually. So right now we need 3 flux per minute to run this machine, which is not a lot. So 1 hour of running this and 3 stacks are gone. This lasts a couple hours. So in the same basin we have lime water and water, in case we drop in white sand. We mix this with the lime water and make the mortar. In case we don't have any lime water left, then we just mix the water and flux into lime water. Okay, so this also saves some space, and since this is not running that quickly, it also works here. Okay, then what actually happens next is the basin drops the items directly onto this belt again, where they just get picked up by the same funnel again and go into the item vault. 4th time, I guess. Yeah. And then we drop out the mortar, there's a filter again onto the belt there. There's also a speed controller, so we run the belt a bit quicker, because otherwise the items here would keep piling up and the saws couldn't put the stuff onto the belt. The saws also run at 64 RPM, so just double the speed here, so they can definitely keep up. Technically it would have been possible to use a single saw, but would have been, I don't know, the wiring would have been a bit awkward to get it to work, so a saw isn't expensive, so we just run this at 64 RPM. I think it also looks a bit cleaner if we have multiple, although we don't need them technically. Okay, so one last thing, I added a neat on-off switch now. So we can just flick the lever here, then we send a short pulse into the clock there, piston pushes up the block, and we close the clock circuit. So every 50 ticks we activate the sequence gear shift and turn by 90 degrees. And at the same time, yeah, that wasn't really a nice way to do this. Just using the redstone link here. We also turn off the torch here, and then it's a rotational force going through the shaft. And in case we actually turn this off, there's an extender, so it keeps this stuff here powered just a little bit longer. So like all of the stone can be processed. I said it took 10 seconds now. Okay, maybe add a little bit more, but that looks good, yeah. Okay, then it's just a slight issue that we actually, if you turn this off, we send another pulse into the thing here. In some cases it would be bad, but with this system here in particular, it doesn't really matter. The worst thing that can happen is we spin it and then immediately spin it again. Yeah, not a big deal in case this actually happens. Yeah, let's see an issue. Okay, then let's actually build this in survival. Then I guess next episode we can add the crafting system, but there I actually need to gather some materials first. So we need 19 of the precision mechanisms to make all of the robot arms and so on. Yeah, let's just focus on this first. You can already craft it manually. In the next episode we're gonna probably also make an assembly line to make those mechanical arms. We just need to find a good place to build this somewhere. So it's 7 blocks tall. They wouldn't fit in the house anywhere really, making a separate building, but we haven't really finished decorating the first cobble generator, not sure. So I thought here maybe we have a lot of unused space on one side of the cheese factory, and I don't think we're gonna expand this at some point, so I guess it could fit in there. Only downside is we got slabs here on top and lava 2 blocks below. So right here we would have lava. This could actually burn down unless we place another layer of blocks below the slabs. Yeah, sort of fire blocks can't be placed there. That would be one way to prevent actually. And the other one would be, what if we actually replace those wooden slabs with something they can't burn but still looks like wood, like casings? That would also be an option. I'd say this is actually already fireproof there because well, the casing can't burn and there's redstone dust above, which basically blocks the space for the air block. I guess I would only need to place like 3 lines of white concrete here on top. Then it's also fireproof. Let's do that instead. Alright, there we go. We have the machine in survival now. Hopefully built correctly. Okay, let's turn it on for the very first time. Let's see if it works. Okay, that seems to work. Do we pump water? That's also important. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, the next question is, just heard a hammer. I set the funnel output to 8 items at a time. So we should drop cobble soon, then pick it up and drop the gravel immediately again. Okay, the speeds seem to be correct. I think technically you could actually make those crushing wheels. There we go, first cobble was dropped. Those crushing wheels half as fast would also still be fine, but there's not much to save. So no extra effort for this. Yeah, looks good. We should get the sand soon. I think it takes like 20 seconds to actually crush stuff. 8 gravel is in there. Okay. We do have lime water ray. Okay, yeah, sand was dropped as well now. And it should be the first mortar. Oh, this stuff isn't spinning. Oh, okay. Really quite tricky to get there. What's the problem here even? Ah, it just looks like... Yeah, okay, that should be easy fix. Gearbox is missing. Or shaft. That should be easy to fix. Got one on me. Okay. And also spinning, hopefully also in the right direction. There we go. Yep. And there we have it. Bricks and mortar. Okay, so it's working. Yeah. But I don't think I'm gonna do a lot of manual crafting now, because next episode the plan is to build the crafting system, but before that I just had to craft more precision mechanisms for 2 rotation speed controllers here. Yeah, I've had it with that. I'm gonna make an assembly line for that, and then I'm gonna build the crafting system. Okay. That's it for today, guys. Yeah, good progress. Really like this machine as well. Okay. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks so much, and see you next time. Bye bye.
In the last episode, I built up a large mid-game farming district. This included a starter tree farm feeding a block storage. However, the process of removing logs was slow and tedious. In today's episode, we address this issue. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for the 3-month delay in getting this episode out. Part of the reason it has taken so long is the solution to the mining speed of the logs. As I said at the end of the last video, I'd introduced a custom carpet extension mod including a rule to instant mine logs using a netherite axe and a haste 2 beacon. I've done just that. The mod is called Carpet Add-ons Not Found, which you can download from either the mod's GitHub release page, CurseForge, or Modrin. The links are down in the description of this video. The mod was developed in collaboration with my fellow 404 Not Found members, hence the name. In particular, I'd like to thank Sirs and Sigma for all of their hard work contributing code to the project. The mod supports several versions of Minecraft including 1.17.1, 1.18.2, 1.19.4 and 1.20.1. The release version of the mod as of recording is 1.3. Also, it goes without saying, to use the mod, you require both the fabric loader and the carpet mod. In the interest of openness and transparency, I think a refresher of all the carpet rules enabled for this series are in order. I'm not going to list off every single rule verbally, but instead show some text on the screen. The rules which have now been brought in from the Carpet Add-ons Not Found mod will be highlighted. The format of this episode is going to be very different from the previous one. For starters, I finally have a new mic, so my audio quality should improve. Secondly, the episode is going to be more of a commentary of what I did to get to the current stage of the world. The main reason for this is that the previous clips have a much worse audio quality because I didn't have my new mic. Finally, the episode will be much shorter than the previous one. Right, that's enough admin, let's get on with the episode. So having enabled the instant mining logs rule from our new mod, I needed to acquire netherite. The best method for this is to use TNT. I could have used beds, but I didn't want to make a sheep farm to get all of the wool. To craft loads of TNT, I needed to have a lot of gunpowder, so I set out and built a creeper farm. I also don't have a source of strings yet either, so the farm will double as a creeper and spider farm. This particular creeper farm is a modified version of the general mob farm by El Mango. It is lower down in the world, which should help with the spawn rate, albeit marginally. When the mobs are pushed from the spawning platforms by the water, they'll land down the bottom and be transported to the nether. The nether side is where they will be killed. Now in hindsight, I could have maybe kept the killing mechanism in the overworld and just transported the items to the nether, but the mob cap is never full anyway, so it probably wouldn't make much of a difference to the rates. Here, I'm reusing the hopper minecart instant unloaders for 1.19 and above designed by El Mango. The items then get sorted into a simple chest storage. I then ran the farm for a couple of hours to get plenty of gunpowder. The rates of the farm are 3,700 gunpowder per hour and 2,500 string per hour. Once I had enough gunpowder, I crafted all the TNT I needed using the item scroller mod. Then, it was time to go netherite mining. Once I got all the debris, I crafted up the netherite ingots, then I changed all my tools to be netherite, and same with my armour. And as you can see here, I now have full netherite armour. Having acquired the netherite axe, I then went back down into my farming district and mined out all the acacia logs using the new instant mining rule, and I've got to say it was incredibly satisfying. Now knowing that I could instant mine logs, I decided that I actually wanted to try and get some decoration around the mob farm that we had just built. And part of this decoration, I needed spruce logs, so I went ahead and farmed up all the spruce logs again, then mined it all out. And having acquired all the materials to build up the decoration, I then went ahead and, well, built it up. Okay, at this point we are now back in sync with me currently and with the progress I've done for this particular episode. And here it is in all its glory, the general mob farm. Well, not even general mob farm, but the spider and creeper farm. Yeah, I've gone with this particular sort of decoration, just a sort of castle rook sort of style with a glass centre section, so you can see the farm inside. We've still got a little bit of detail with the wood, and then you can see that it's alternating between stone brick, andesite and stone. You know, a little bit of detail. I'm not a great builder. I'm not by no means a builder. I am a technical farm person, but I do want to try and decorate this world as best as I possibly can. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. It's probably one of my better ones, and yeah, I did use World Edit to assist a little bit with the circles and all that. And I'm particularly happy with this particular bridge over here, which leads from the Nether Portal. So the Nether Portal comes out here, you follow this path down, and then you come onto the bridge over here. If we just have a look at it from over here, you can see, yeah, I am quite happy with this particular bridge design. I just followed a YouTube video to get some inspiration for one, and then I just extended it out a little bit and used my own colour palette. And yeah, and then you come up, and you can come across to the other side. It might be a bit pointless when we have an elytra and all that, and we come over here, but we might even not be over here that often anyway, so you might argue this is pointless, but you know, I wanted to have some decoration. And I might terraform this bit out of the way so it looks a bit cleaner, but yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. This is it's quite a tall build, to be fair. And you come into here, and you get into the actual farm itself. Another thing to note is that I've now updated the world to 1.20, which is why when I was getting the netherite armor, it was the pre-120 mechanics. But yeah, but now I've got 120 because this is a chiseled bookshelf, but the top of it has this particular floor pattern, which I kind of liked, so I went with that. And then yeah, this room's kind of boring. It's basically just, you know, just a wooden floor. And then you can see the mobs going in here, and yeah, so if you wanted to watch them we could, but it would affect the rates if we're in here. And then over here we have the water lift to get up to the top, so go in and come back out at the top. It's essentially just a sign telling you where to put the bot at the whatever you call it, the AFK platform, the lever here to turn it on and off. Let's now go and travel to the nether side. Once we fall down here, to the bottom, once we come back through to the Nether, basically in this hallway, so Nether portal's here. Under here we've got glowstone, just to make sure everything's lit up really well, because in the Nether the light level's different for spawning mobs than it is in the overworld. Just gone for again, very spruce rustic sort of look in here. So if you go up here, you go to the top where you can observe the mobs dying, and then here is where we come out. So let's just go upstairs, come out here, and then you can see here's the kill chamber where you can see the drops. I was originally going to have like a nice wooden floor in here, but then mobs kept spawning and I realised that was a problem, so that's why there's all carpet here. I used the string from the farm for the carpet, so yeah, you can just craft it into wool and get carpet that way. You may be wondering why there is a boat with cows in it. That is to allow the mobs to come out of the portal quicker, and so they won't build up in the centre there and just be stuck. That way they all get pushed out and we won't have any just left over. We go back down the stairs and turn into the hallway here. We can get out of the decoration here, or just outside the farm there. And then here we have the control switch for just turning the iron collection on and off. So that basically means that this particular bit here, so these two things, which is the actual iron collection, these will be active when that switch is turned on. And then yeah, the actual storage is here. So it's just simple chest storage because I've not got shulker boxes at the moment. So have a look at how much we've got so far. So yeah, we've got quite a lot of gunpowder. I think the gunpowder's up to here. Yeah, so we've got 3 full slices and this amount. So plenty of gunpowder now for rockets when we go to the end. And then plenty of string as well. Yeah, so we've got 2 full slices of string up to this bit. And if you have a quick look at it from out here, here we go. So this is a bit more detailed than the one in the overworld. And like I said, I want to start decorating my stuff in this world. Maybe not immediately after every time I build a farm like I have in this episode, but at least down the line there will be decoration around pretty much everything. Unfortunately, that is all I've got time for today. Only 10% of you who watch these videos are subscribed to the channel, so if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. It would really help the channel out if you did. And for those of you who are already...
This is a gaming PC made by Sega, of all people, called the ALLS-UX, which sounds kind of weird, but it's not nearly as weird as the fact that it's for sale today for use in arcade games. It's got a 6th Gen Core i5 processor, a GTX 1070, 16 gigs of RAM, and it runs on Windows 10 IoT Enterprise. For the $250 we paid for it, it's actually a pretty decent little machine.
At least it would be if it weren't locked down with BitLocker encryption, a BIOS password, and always online DRM. In order to boot into the installed OS, we need a USB key chip that's forever owned by Sega, a router with Sega's VPN pre-installed, and an IP address that's whitelisted on Sega's servers, none of which you are likely to get if you're not in Asia and on very good terms with their arcade sales division. Sega's, not Asia's. But why are things so locked down?
Because money. That USB key chip doesn't just act as a key to boot up Windows. It collects sales data about the machine, even when it's offline, and sends it back to Sega so that they can ensure that they're getting their cut of the coins dropped into the machine.
But aside from a few exceptions in large chain arcades, none of these games ever make it to Western countries legally. So how is it that you can find game machines like Initial D, Taiko Drum Master, or Blaze Blue running perfectly in nearly every major city?
Turns out, there's a clandestine network of hackers, enthusiasts, and preservationists that are working not only to make these games available in their regions, but to offer network support and updates while giving life to features and games well after they're retired by their creators. Truly God's work.
But how do these underground networks come to be in the first place? What would happen if they were to suddenly shut down? And can we still play games on this machine right here? Or is our only remaining form of entertainment segues to sponsors like Seasonic? If you're in the need of a power supply, look no further. Seasonic offers high-quality power supplies with a variety of options for any build. Learn more at Seasonic.com. It's pretty normal inside the computer, except this is a robust case. If you can imagine someone getting angry at the game and hitting the side of the arcade cabinet, you don't want that to cause a shutdown for your business. So I guess all the steel makes sense.
Other weird thing is these serial cables coming off the back, which are just snipped off on ours. We think this one would govern things like the coin operation of the arcade cabinet, and then these would work the lights.
There was once a time when each arcade machine would be purpose-built, but for the last 30 years or so, they've been largely shells with familiar hardware. For example, Mario Kart GP runs on the Triforce, a GameCube modified for arcades. The new Street Fighter 6 runs on the Taito Type X4, a PC with a 4th Gen i5 and a GTX 960. And games like Crazy Taxi were released for the Chihiro, a slightly modified Xbox with its DVD drive swapped out for a GD-ROM, like some kind of Microsoft Dreamcast abomination. The way the software works is familiar too. The name ALS stands for Amusement Linkage Live System, and as implied, it's meant to be connected to a network at all times, so it can not only be monitored and updated, but also so that new games can be added to it, kind of like Steam. In a similar manner, players that use their Sega iMe identifier card will have things like high scores and game progress saved on Sega's servers, so it can be used on any other machine, any other arcade. They can also store credits purchased with cash right on the machine. But in exchange for access to this system, Sega requires that arcade operators not only buy the machines outright and maintain them themselves, but also split all revenues 50-50 with Sega. They aren't the only ones either. It's a similar situation with the other majors that make up this oligopoly. Bandai Namco's Bana Passport, Taito's Nisus, and the OG arcade network of the bunch, Konami's E-Amusement. So what are small arcades to do? Assuming they're not owned by one of those major companies, which also is a thing. Well, they could install a fresh version of Windows onto the box and run an emulator. TechnoParrot is an emulator capable of running newer arcade games on a wide breadth of hardware, including the very systems they were designed for.
But like most emulators, ROMs are not provided, and it can take some time to figure out the optimal configurations for each game. They also lack a lot of the online features, like events and updates, though LAN and NetPlay is supported by titles.
The other option these companies have is private servers. If you've played World of Warcraft at any point, you're probably familiar with the idea of private servers, and this scenario shares a lot of similarities. These work essentially as drop-in replacements of the official servers, just without the officialness. Server operators often tweak the features they offer to differentiate themselves from the vanilla experience, usually unlocking far more than the official release.
Unlike WoW private servers, however, these require hardware to get through the client encryption, those key chips that we mentioned earlier. We've unfortunately been unable to acquire any photos, but through talking with some arcade owners, we found out that the existing underground networks use some kind of hardware that's plugged into USB, likely an FPGA or something like a modified SafeNet iKey, in order to spoof the key chip and get everything decrypted.
Judging by Bringa Studios' video on the ALS, it seems that many systems share key chips. Obviously not the greatest security practice, but getting past the key chip is only a small portion of the journey. For the private servers to act as one-to-one drop-in replacements for the real thing, their outputs have to match the outputs expected from the official servers. And doing this is a bit of a black art involving scraping server data, reverse engineering, or sometimes the assistance of leakers. But even after one private server pulls it off, they aren't likely to share their code publicly, which means that if an existing network gets shut down, it could be game over for good. If that happened to the private networks underpinning Western all systems, arcades would lose dozens of games, their online play, save states, DLC, and network-wide leaderboards. It would be catastrophic. Businesses would close. And that's true of bootlegs of any of the big four networks. And that's to say nothing of the threat to game preservation these closed ecosystems pose. Look at the Satellaview, an add-on for the Super Famicom released back in 1995. I was alive. It distributed unique game levels and events to those subscribed to the service, but only within a limited release window, typically a couple of weeks, never to be played again. In 2023, some of these releases have been recovered, but many more are known to be lost, and an unknown number have been forgotten completely.
And that's a major reason why many believe that piracy of these systems is justifiable. If you bought the hardware and you bought the game, you should be allowed to play it, they say.
Well, we bought this hardware. We bought Puyo Puyo Champions on Steam. We have TechnoParrot with a copy of the arcade release of the game. Sure, we're lacking the case lights and the coin-op controllers that would normally plug into the serial ports in the back, but those are incidental. Let's game. Interesting thing about this machine, there's no on button, so as soon as you switch on the power supply, it's just on. We're running off a different SSD now, because encryption, but here's a game, Puyo Puyo, with my Razer gamepad. Oh gosh. Oh my god, I don't speak Japanese. Well, what is it asking me?
Don't know.
Okay, who should I be? The least human one, the fish. Yes, I relate to that one. Yes? Yes! This is like Bizarro Land Tetris. I'd rather have a D-pad than a joystick. That's probably sacrilege to some people. Oh no, this guy's just dropping the graveyard on me here. We do have other games, but we don't want to risk playing them because we don't want to attract the ire of Sega's lawyers, and it just seems like Sega doesn't care about this game as much, so that's why we went for it. Oh, Giant Blob, it's crazy. Crazy like the deals offered by today's sponsor!
Brilliant! Brilliant is the hands-on and interactive way to learn STEM topics. With thousands of different lessons, they make it fun for both students and professionals to beef up their knowledge. You can learn at your own pace and build out a lesson plan that fits your needs. Even if you lead a busy life, you can start learning useful skills in as little as 15 minutes a day. Check out their Thinking in Code course, a solid foundation for computational problem solving that helps you start developing your own programs with practical life uses. I mean, how can you troubleshoot a problem without knowing the basics? So don't wait. Get started for free right now for 30 days and get 20% off an annual plan by visiting brilliant.org/LinusTechTips or clicking the link down below.
If you like this video, check out the time that we DIY'd a whole arcade cabinet a long, long time ago. Back when I was happy.
We're doing Tetris, baby! Oh, right, video. My bad. All right. Right, yeah, Tetris. Let's do Tetris. If you're not familiar with my videos, first we're gonna need to build the game. So 1, 2, 3, let's go. Let's go and do some like Go Gadget coding. Yeah, intro. Done. That's a take. That's a background. Let's get some blocks going. That's fuck. That's a block. Yeah, it's happening, baby. We're almost there. Evan, settle down. All you've done is draw a square on a larger square. Oh, really? Watch this. So the block can move down. Yeah, fucking awesome. Whatever you say, just let's move on. Fucking hell. What a time to be alive. Okay, we got some blocks, so now we're gonna need some shapes. It was at this point that I realized that I had no idea what the fuck I was doing and just gave up and started playing Tetris. I was actually testing how each shape span, and while I could have just googled this, I decided to reinvent the fucking wheel and figure it out for myself. Okay, let's cover some Tetris facts. Fact 1. It's fucking hard. Disgusting. Fact 2. You have pieces that be spinning. Oh, that's pretty simple, hey. No, you're stupid. The problem is that the point where the piece rotates around changes for each piece. For example, the square piece rotates around its center, like this. Wait. Oh yeah, that makes sense. But the line piece can't spin around its center because then it would be in a half position between blocks, which is no good. So each piece has a unique spin point, which I found by just spamming the rotate key and fucking eyeballing it. Even though I could have just Googled Tetris piece spin, and wow, would you look at that? It's actually the first fucking picture. Fucking brilliant, Evan. Fucking brilliant. Oh well, mistakes were made, but now you know how shit spins. So, you're welcome. Okay, we are getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here since we currently only have a block which can move down. Okay, back at it. Let's make some shapes. Can you fucking stop? Sorry. Thank you. Okay, shapes done, and welcome to Tetris Piece 101. Let's introduce today's lucky bachelors. Our first bachelor is a chubby fucker who doesn't like to spin. It's Square Piece. Next up, we have the always reliable LPs. Look at that angle, I guess. I don't know, shut up, I'm doing my best. If you want a man who's tall, thin, and can complete your Tetris, if you know what I mean, then this next contestant might be for you. I'm talking about the one and only Line. Oh my god! You okay, buddy? No? I think it's a no. Yeah, cut it. Cut the show. Can't be fucked finishing this dumb bit anyway, so just cut it. Back to the coding. Okay, so the conclusion from the dumb bachelor thing was that we have shapes pretty much working. But at the moment, the game highly resembles your mama, so we're gonna need to make some aesthetic changes. There we go, that's tons better. Okay, so we got the bad boys fallen, but we don't yet have them spinning. So let's get that done. This is probably where I should have done the whole explanation of where all the shapes rotate. But you know what? Fuck it, this video's a shithole anyway. Okay, back to the code. Let's get them bad boys spinning. Okay, that should do it. Let's see how well we do. Okay, cool, it's span, and oh, yeah, sure, just stay there, that works. Alright, I've seen enough of this. I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. Should be a quick fix. Ah! Ugh, okay, well, that's embarrassing, but here's what we're gonna do. I have a plan. Here it is, a little bit of audience participation here. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that, and you're not gonna insult my intelligence in the comments. Alright, ready, and go. Okay, I got it, and let's just say, hit the beat. Yeah. Okay. Love it. The boys be spinning. Okay, fuck this. There's gonna be a long video if it's taken me this long to rotate a fucking shape. You said it, not me. Man, fuck you. What are you doing? Get out here. Fucking hell. What a loser. Okay, so shapes can spin and move down. Check. Let's actually get some sort of collision logic on the shape so we can, you know, play Tetris. If you're not following, that is what we're doing here. That is the end goal. If you're just joining us, fucking congrats on starting a video halfway through. Did you miss the whole it's Tetris time? That was like, I started the video as aggressively as possible. The collision logic is hella simple. I've just got a grid which holds all the blocks which are currently stationary on the map. We then just take the future position of the current piece and see if there are any blocks in that spot. If there are, then we can't move there. If there's not, then go nuts. That's it. Simple shit. Okay, you ready? And action. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, that's a problem. That didn't even happen. Yeah. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, there we go. That should fix it. Hey, there we go, baby. Yes. Yeah. He's done it. Not bad, Evan. Not bad at all. Oh god. Ignore that. Yeah, that's not a problem. I can never win. Okay, let's see if we can get some horizontal movement happening. Yes, very nice. And I'm getting cocky. Let's add some rotation. Ooh, no. Nope, it's fucked. Yeah, definitely fucked. Okay. Alright, so we got the spinning shapes working, and we are ready to party. What's next? Well, we're done, aren't we? No, bad code bullet. That's stupid. You're stupid. Yeah, I know. Fuck you, I hate you. Oh, come on, dude. That's a bit far, don't you think? I hope you die in like a hole with at least 3 spiders in it, which bully you for how stupid you are. The spiders are bullying me? Yeah, it's like Charlotte's Web, but instead of Radiant or some shit, it says you're fucking stupid. You done? You're stupid. Are you done? Yeah, I think I've made my point. All right, no, we're not done. We've still got to do the line clearing shit. Then, and only then, are we done. Okay? Okay. Clearing the lines is pretty fucking simple. This really is an easy game to make. I'm just bad at my job. All we really need to do is check if the line is full, and then if it is, remove it. Which you probably could have guessed. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. Get it? It's Tetris. All right, explanation done. Check that off the list. Okay, I've got that implemented, and let's fucking party! Okay, new problem. I have to actually clear a line to test this shit. Let's go! First try. Oh no. Nope. That just keeps happening. No. Oh, come on, fuck you. Kick me while you're down, why don't you? Okay, apart from the pieces which you couldn't see which were there, and apart from the pieces which you could see which weren't there, that went well. Fuck you, spider, I'm not stupid. No, I'm not. Oh god, what the fuck? Why is it so detailed? How do you even know what that is? How is that color? I have so many questions! Spiders are fucking me! Alright, so whatever, back to it. Before I start crying, let's fix that. Okay, there we go. Everything works the way it should, and I shouldn't get my lunch money stolen by an asshole spider. Okay, now all that's left to do is make it look pretty. Ba-la-la-la. Wow, so pretty. Look at that aspect ratio. Woo! Okay, I've added some functionality which I can't be bothered explaining, but basically you can now see the next piece to come, and you can hold a piece if you don't want it. You can just chuck it up there for a bit. Again, I'm just explaining Tetris. This is Tetris. You've played Tetris. It's Tetris. Alright, okay, now all that's left is for you to admire my ninja as fuck Tetris skills. Oh no, fuck. Okay, stupid game. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's move on. It's AI time. God damn, transitions be on point today. Fuck yeah. Okay, let's talk AI. I thought about doing like some fancy reinforcement learning shit, but I've seen many videos of people trying and failing, and it feels like it's gonna end up like my 2048 video, which, if you've seen it, is not a good thing. You're so close. Thomas, you dumb mother. Okay, so here's the plan. First, we need to generate all the possible positions the current shape can finish in. For example, if we've got this bad boy here, it can end up in all these positions. Pretty simple. So first up, we need to figure out how to generate all these positions. Now, it is important to write an algorithm which runs efficiently and quickly, because we're going to need to run this search for every single shape. This would have been a smart thing to do, however, I couldn't really be fucked, so instead, I just bought a beast of a computer which can brute force it. I've seen a couple of other people do this because a bunch of people have tried this, because it's fucking Tetris. But what they do is just drop the piece from each horizontal position and then each rotation and just see where it lands. This does the job, I guess, but it means you can't do fancy moves like moving blocks under other blocks or doing T-spins or anything, which isn't just dropping that bad boy from the sky. And we don't want that, because here at Code Bullet Studios, our #1 priority is quality, because it's definitely not quantity. So let's do something way less efficient and in many ways objectively worse. But it will reach all possible end positions, so you can do fancy shit like T-spins and stuff. I don't think it'll happen, but it's a cute idea. Essentially, we just simulate every possible combination of key presses the player can input, and for each combination that results in a piece reaching a new end position, add it to a list of finished positions. It's a bit smarter than that, but you get the gist. It's brute forcey as fuck. I've brought shame to myself and my family, but you know, fuck you, it works. Alright, so I've coded that up, and this should rotate through all possible positions the current piece can land. Here we go. Bruh, come on, really? That's not even, like, close to right. Ah, now it's off the screen. Okay, I think we've seen enough of that. Hey, no, don't you fucking start, mate. I'll Mortine your ass, boy. I'm serious, I'll fucking do it. Okay, so yeah, you know, you live, you learn, or you can use the philosophy I prefer. You fail, you forget. It's way easier. Okay, so here's what I achieved on the very first try without any problems or bugs to speak of. Fantastic, it works! I'm a great programmer. Okay, so now that we can generate all the possible moves, we need to pick the best one to perform. This is kind of the backbone of the AI. We need to figure out which moves are good moves and which moves are bad moves. This is done by assigning a point score to each move. The move with the highest score is chosen as the best. So all we really need to do is to quantify what a good move is and what a bad move is. Let's start off really simple. Anyone who's played Tetris before will tell you that this is a dog shit move. The main reason it's trash is because you've left holes under your piece, and holes are bad. Rule 1 is holes are bad. We'll define a hole as an empty space with a block above it. So all these bad boys are holes. So all we need to do is give the AI a little slap if it's going to generate a hole, and sit back and watch as our AI finally comes to life. Failure and I hate you. So the problem with this is it has no interest in keeping its stacks low. As long as the piece fits without generating a hole, then it doesn't really give a shit where it goes. Like this move, it's bad. Like this is a cancer tier move. But from its perspective, it doesn't generate any new holes. So you know what? It's a great move. This brings me to my second rule. We're gonna punish moves based on how highly they're placed. So this move is worse than this move. Pretty simple. Okay, let's run this bitch. And this actually does way better. Like we're cooking. It's finally happening. It was rare if the previous algorithm cleared a single line. Now this bad boy can clear almost 300 lines before dying. Okay, now we're talking. And we're just getting started, baby. 300 is nothing. I'm going for the world record. And wait, give me a sec. It looks like the world record is 5,000 lines cleared. Okay, that's more than I thought, but that's fine. I'm coming for you, you little bitch. Anyway, let's improve this bitch. There are still problems with the current solution, but before we address them, I'm gonna make use of the hold function. At the moment, I've just been kind of ignoring that it exists, but by using it, we should be able to greatly improve what the AI can achieve. The idea is that if the best end position for the held piece is better than the best end position of the current piece, then we use the held piece. It's a pretty simple change, but it should have a big impact. Oh, let's dance. Yeah, I'm gonna have to speed this up because otherwise I'm gonna be here for fucking ages. And yeah, it does go for fucking ages. Some of the runs reach up to 1,000 lines cleared, which is awesome. The problem is that some of them die at like line 50, which is not ideal, and it basically means it's relying a lot on the luck of the draw, which is not what we want. We want it to be consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 second.
The major problem that I can see is the AI's reliance on line pieces. It has a tendency to create these pillars of empty spaces, which is not a huge problem when there's only one empty pillar. This is actually the go-to strategy if you want to slam some Tetrises. The problem occurs when the AI creates more than one of these pillars. That way when you dunk a line piece down there, nothing happens. You need another line piece before the lines are cleared, and then by the time you've got the other line piece, the pillars have grown even deeper, and eventually you die because there just aren't enough line pieces. So the solution I thought of was just to simply penalize any moves which resulted in a pillar of 3 or more empty blocks, just like we did the holes. Alright, and I've coded that up, and so penalizing empty pillars is added. Let's see if it helps. Right, I'm going to speed this up to a point where you're just going to have to trust me that this is a game of Tetris. I technically could just be drawing random blocks in random positions and randomly increasing the score, and you wouldn't know, but everyone knows I'm the most reliable, trustworthy, consistent guy on the internet, so you don't have to worry. I'm here for you. Just like Zuck. My man. And you know what? I don't give a shit if you trust me. What are you going to do? I'll see you in court. You can't prove shit, boy. Oh, and we're approaching 5,000. Forgot about that. That's the thing. Oh, yeah. Fuck you. Oh, wait. Give me a second. Harry Hong. I mean, not to downplay your achievement, which is objectively worlds better than mine, but fuck you. You're shit. Get good, bruh. Get good. Oh, feels good, man. Feels good. Fuck that guy. Woo. Okay, let's super speed this bitch because this is going great. Alright, let's pick it up even faster because, you know, life is short and I'm honestly getting bored of Tetris. And yep, looks even less like a game of Tetris. Look at the next piece, that's some trippy shit. Okay, we hit 10,000. Wow, hopefully this doesn't go on forever because I got places to be. I mean, I don't really. I've got videos to oh, who am I kidding? That's even less true. Just die soon so I can upload this video and disappear for 3 months. Please, I got disappearing to do. Hey, there we go. I didn't actually see what the score was or what went wrong, but I don't care at this point. Let's just round it up to an even 15,000. Okay, yeah, I could probably improve it, but, you know, like, it's already a ridiculous game of Tetris. It's already sped up to the point where it doesn't look like Tetris. I could make it better, but, you know, this video is already getting long and I can't be fucked. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. There are a few things that I wanted to put in this video, but it's already long and I can't be fucked at the moment. I think it should be possible to do like an infinite run through of the game, and I'm sure that if I Googled it, I'd find something. But as per usual, I did zero research for this video. It would also be really dope.
Test.
To use Python to read in the screen, and to bypass the keyboard to control a pre-made Tetris game. Kind of a similar sort of thing to my Storm the House or Piano Tiles or like the Pong thing I tried. And I found a very good victim for this. It's a website called Jatris where you can play against other people, and there are like high scores and shit, which would be fun to destroy. And yeah, so let me know in the comment section if that's a video you would like to see. I might just do it anyway, because bullying nerds in Jatris sounds like a lot of fun to me. Or I might not. It really depends on what I feel like. But I'll still be interested in seeing what you guys want to see. Alright, I'm done.
Yo, Danny Phantom, he was just 14 and it's jerked off. Hey guys, we're gonna watch Danny Phantom.
And if you guys want us to watch more Danny Phantom, then you better get this video to 11,000 likes, because if you don't, we aren't going to watch anymore.
This video was the winner of our Patreon poll. If you want to decide what we watch next, check out our Patreon. And subscribe to us so you don't miss the next video.
You and your little friends want to hunt ghosts.
Actually, Dad, I want to be an astronaut.
I'm an emo for life.
Wait, I'm sorry. Someone in our Twitch chat said they had a childhood crush on Jazz. That is like an embarrassing reveal when like there's literally a goth character.
All good straight males had a crush on Danny Phantom.
This isn't good.
No! They really just jump right into it.
Dude, is that his ass crack in the? Is that his? The giant line in the back of his suit looks like a giant ass crack.
Who wants to hunt some ghosts?
Dude, he's twerking! He was twerking! But he was just 14. Okay, he wasn't twerking. Never mind. Danny Phantom, he was just 14. Oh my god. But this is the best theme song ever. Core, did you know the person? Butch Hartman only paid the person who recorded this $15 to record this song?
What? Okay, yeah, sure thing, buddy.
Honestly, maybe they deserved it because this song is not that good.
What are you talking about? Phantom,
This is like
eat and
the fucking
fucking
One
kill
Piece
yourself.
opening. It's like, yayo.
I know what we do doesn't make sense, but you're only 16. Biologically, but psychologically, I'm an adult.
Oh, do not tell the internet that, Jazz. Back away from the internet. What the fuck was that line?
What? If somebody catches me, I go from geek to freak around here. Kind of like what you're doing now.
Dude, the sound effects are so funny, bro.
You know, people complain about the TikTok editing, but like, old cartoons were just as egregious offenders.
Danny, 2 words. Meat connoisseur.
Meat connoisseur. That is a dangerous term to be throwing around.
Gay coding right there.
I be guzzling glizzies every goddamn day, Danny.
And it's about to end. The school board finally agreed to try a new cafeteria menu.
What did you do?
Oh, he's fucking pissed.
These vegans are ruining our society.
Bread with grass?
No, I love completely like factually incorrect vegan hate in my media. Like I
love the
that
vegan
shit.
hate, where they just eat literal grass.
Jazz gets home, we suck the ghost out of her with a fentanyl.
Suck the ghost out of her.
We suck the ghost out of her with this vacuum.
Ah, Miss Manson. What the fuck?
That is a creepy looking teacher. I do not. He's got the Hawkeye Mihawk goatee. Run away from him.
Whoa, stop touching her.
Get your hands off that girl. Bro, the soundtrack is really starting to get on my fucking nerves.
It's Johnny Test-esque. Literally, Gordon Ramsay sound effect.
There's so many sound effects, and then the music is also sound effects.
How am I supposed to enjoy my glory days eating mud?
I love how high-pitched the bully's voice is. Like, usually they're like the deeper, more muscular type, but this guy sounds like Timmy Turner.
It's not garbage, it's...
They grabbed her. Oh, I thought they were gonna grab her and throw her for the garbage fight. Never mind.
I found some garbage right here.
But I don't see the meatloaf. Did someone change the menu?
Yeah, she did.
Sounds like Courage the Cowardly Dog, Muriel.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mariel.
I'm going ghost!
I'm going ghost. It's like the cringiest thing to say.
Does he say that every time?
Yes, he does.
Oh my god. It sounds like he's...
Look at the 3D though. This fucking shows his ass. Let's go.
Oh, where is that going? Where was that going?
It looked like the books were going up her pussy.
I think they are going up her pussy core. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
The meat wants what the meat gets, bro. Like the meat is attracted to a certain area.
And perish! The only thing that has an expiration date here is you.
That's disgusting. That's fucking disgusting. Oh my god.
That's the most Spider-Man shit I've heard in my life.
Conspire to destroy the school cafeteria! Dash started it. He threw
4 touchdown passes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I fucking love jocks. I love athletes. I love special treatment for athletes, and that's how it is in real life too. Nothing bad has ever happened to an athlete out of school.
I love special treatment for athletes and oppression of minority.
This shit's lame app, I'm not gonna lie.
You're not very engaged in Danny Phantom versus Meat?
It's giving first episode vibes for sure.
Now, Maddie, hit her! I'm moving in! Get my back!
This is all going in the memoir.
What? Is she gonna... The female school shooter?
She just said that this is all going in the manifesto. Like,
yeah, she's
what do you mean by that?
She's a female school shooter, man.
Don't come to the jazz club tonight.
What's going on? You passed out. We took you home. You've been asleep for 4 days.
What? What?
What? No, he's joking. He's joking.
It's only been a couple
You fell for it.
Meat eaters, Danny. Always ready to fight.
Ultra recyclo vegetarians are always ready to protest. And because we don't have to waste time cooking our food.
Has Butch Hartman ever met a vegetarian? Does he just think that people pick up grass off the ground, pick up a carrot out of the farm?
He's
like,
talking about like the fucking insane, like, what is it, like paleo or some shit where you only eat raw food? This is so totally Super Meat Boy right now.
Oh, they suck. This is like the easiest fight. He just chopped them in half. Like, that was so. Okay, that was
They
hard.
did like the slow-mo too.
That was hard. That was a hard shot. Yummy, and then.
So are
It's
they gonna
free
make
lunch,
like
too.
like a fire like ghost soup? Like once they catch them all?
They make a ghost soup. That's what he's ultimately trying to do. He's trying to make the greatest ghost soup there is.
Quiet now. Don't want to spook him.
I don't remember does like Danny get older over the course of the show? Because I sort of I don't remember him being such a little guy.
Well, he is older than like a typical He's like a teenager. Like he's 14.
But he's like a foot tall. This dude's a little pipsqueak, bro. I eat him for breakfast, okay?
I could totally beat Danny Phantom's ass if we were fighting.
You guys can beat up a 14-year-old. I'm proud of you guys.
This is like, what is it? The ghost dragon with like the fucking necklace? What is that?
There's like no rules for the ghosts, bro. They could just be anything.
All I wanted was to go to the princess costume ball. And my horrid mummy won't let me.
What?
Bye. Don't give a fuck.
A whole fucking 10-part story.
Boring ass
going on
story.
there.
Didn't care anyways.
Hey there,
Yeah, this guy's basically raw unstoppable. He tries to get pussy the entire show and gets no host.
Everybody at this school is mad racist.
I don't need to be asked to some dance to know I'm special. What?
Paulina.
Paulina.
Oh yeah, Paulina the Latina. The Latina, I forgot about her.
Did they make it rhyme on purpose? Paulina the Latina? It kind of looks like Dora the Explorer from the movie.
That's racist, Core.
Okay, thanks.
Hi,
Please don't say you've suddenly fallen.
This sounds like Liz from Spectacular Spider-Man, bro.
You're racist.
I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I'm probably not racist. I'm not racist. I promise I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I swear.
I just wanted to.
Meet me? Who doesn't?
He's like reaching into his organs.
I thought he was gonna like pull his heart out, like start fucking up his
Did he
organs.
possess him?
This is weird. He did not consent.
This is basically rape.
He doesn't scrub his mom's feet every night like I do.
He is assaulting her. What a terrible fucking guy.
That's actually so fucked up.
Danny, not cool, bro.
What's that?
Oh no, she's gonna turn into the Latina dinosaur.
That's the last dinosaur too. It's a Latina that turns into the dinosaur.
Want to give you something, and that's what it would have been. It's for you.
That's what it would have been. Okay, why did it go to... I thought something else.
You know, I really did think that they were focusing there for a different reason. I'm not gonna lie.
The bald guy.
I'm not gonna lie, this fucking he's scaring me. Why does he only show up when like a little girl gets rizzed? It's like he thinks they're taking his competition. He's like showing up to intervene.
I'm so frustrated, I want to take out my rage on the first person who gives me bad news.
That's funny.
I love the dad.
I like the idea of him getting bored of ghost hunting that he just turns it into a fishing mini game. Like that's like game design 101. If your video game is boring, add a cool fishing mini game and that's it.
I'd like you to chaperone the upcoming school dance.
Well, I'm not sure.
I am.
I am. What?
He's just like, you're doing it.
Catch you later, G.
Top G.
He's the top
bald.
G.
You can just walk into people and take over their bodies from the inside?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, Danny, if you could control a girl for just about 2 minutes.
Not this clip.
Oh, that didn't even waste time.
2 minutes.
That didn't even waste time. That's fucking disgusting. You're
Not
fucking
that clip.
disgusting,
Not
Tucker
this
Carlson.
scene. He's like, I promise, I'm really quick.
No more than 16 weeks. Sorry. 16 weeks?
Ew,
Oh,
ew. She looks like a mole rat.
That's all it took? She can't buy a fucking shirt? That's all it took for her to have her fucking Joker moment? Are you insane?
This mall evacuated quick, man. I'd be on my phone filming this shit. I'm not gonna
This is
lie.
2004, bro. Different time, man. Different time.
So, oh my goodness, so this is super cool. Like, so the strategy is like when your girlfriend gets crazy, you just beat her until she's normal again.
Is that what Butch Hartman was trying to say?
The clumsiness, the nervousness. I can't believe I didn't figure it out before. You have a girlfriend.
Oh, I thought she was about to say you're gay. I don't know why. I just thought she was gonna. I know what you are, Danny Phantom.
The clumsiness, the gay wrist. I know what you are, Danny.
Do you think we could go together? You know, as friends?
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is so last
She got so
Just
excited.
say yes,
But
dumbass.
she has her goth barriers up, Core. They're hard to destroy.
Okay, but only because you got stood up. I'll go change into that dumb dress I wasn't gonna wear.
See ya!
What an asshole!
That's fucked up. He forced him to do. Wow, she looks really ugly.
She looks like the goth Pokemon.
If you upset her, we're going to have a violent talk.
Why does the dad sound less Hispanic than the daughter in this situation right now? Isn't like the son of the immigrant supposed to like have no accent?
See, I shouldn't have given it to you in the first place because it belongs to Sam.
Oh my god.
What the fuck was that? Is no one going to have a reaction to that?
I think all the people are too busy being frozen and purple in the background to react.
I only agreed to go out with him because I thought I was stealing him from you.
Bro.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Wait, but now she's gonna be like, I'm a dinosaur.
Lena? Sam?
Oh my goodness. He went into the girl's bathroom.
I'm not allowed here, but I'm trans now.
He's going trans.
There's a very offensive joke that you could easily make with the word trans and Danny.
Oh my god! There is, in the show, there is a female Danny Phantom.
I would support Danny's decision.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to dance with my wife.
Oh, she gets to dance with the
Well,
baddie, though.
she's
you
like,
know?
oh, honey, I didn't know you could bust it down like that.
Her ass is not dancing. Clapping is not
What are you
dancing.
talking about? She's doing the best dance move ever.
The Fenton Fisher. It can capture ghosts and dragon ghosts. Way to go, Dad!
Oh my god, the fishing minigame. It turned into a 3D platformer. This is absolutely amazing.
Where the fuck are the platforms?
Keep an eye on this, will ya?
Promise me you'll keep your pants up.
Did you see where she said, promise you'll keep your pants up. She said, promise you'll keep your pants up while they were dancing together.
On second thought, I don't need a date that badly. Hey guys, wait up!
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
See, guys, what a lesson. What a lesson to the episode. Oh my god, the Flying Dutchman. The Flying
Dutchman. He is cooking.
Oh no, is this the Box Ghost? Oh my god, it's one of the most iconic characters.
The Box Ghost.
Box Ghost PogChamp. You guys aren't ready for Box Ghosts.
I have power over all containers, cardboard, and square!
He is the most iconic character in the show.
I feel like this is like a super villain that we would like make up while riffing.
Yeah, he is the dumbest, but he's like one of the most consistent villains in the whole show, just because of how stupid he is.
Perimeter secure.
Perimeter secure? What are you, a Navy SEAL?
Fucking bitch. Get fucked, Tucker.
What? Kill yourself now, Tucker.
All right here.
Oh my god, this is fucking Cardcaptor.
Tucker sucks.
This is Cardcaptor Sakura moment right here.
Dreaming.
Half human, half ghost. One of a kind.
Oh, this guy, what's his name? How do I remember Box Ghost's name, but I don't remember this guy's name?
To be fair, Box Ghost likes to talk about the fact that he is Box Ghost.
He's memorable and he's threatening and he's interesting. This guy, none of the above.
Oh my gosh, they said yes!
Who said yes?
What? He went like this.
They got my letter and want to put Mom on the cover!
Of course they want to put Mom on the cover, bro. Like,
Genius Magazine? Was that the swimsuit issue?
Fucking misogynist ass.
Nothing funnier than a misogynistic dad, okay?
I think that beside every genius woman, there's a genius man.
They can't do it themselves. They can't do it themselves.
The world needs to know that the Fentons are a family of geniuses.
I got a D?
That's a good transition.
D for Danny.
By doing an extra credit biology assignment,
on this magnificent.
What? The ass monkey? Like, what the fuck is that, bro? Throw it back. Holy smoke.
I don't have
What?
time for extra credit.
Actually, you do. You just have to learn how to manage it better.
He's got a Game Boy.
It's a fucking Palm Pad.
What?
Do you remember Palm Pads?
No.
Palm Pilot? My mom had one. I remember playing like fucking Worm on it.
Worm? You mean snake?
Snake.
It's not fucking called worm.
Cor was playing with his worm, bro.
I was playing with my worm on the PDA.
Are you finished with the computer?
It killed the child.
Is that brief? From painting and stalking?
It does. It is brief.
Kind of gets brief.
That child is going to suffocate to death. The blood is going to rush to his head. He's not going to be able to breathe. He is going to die. Oh my gorilla cheeks. Oh my god!
He's grabbing it! That's how Butcherman wanted to draw Danny's mom, but like they restricted him too much. So he channeled it all into the gorillas.
Time flies when you're majestically scratching your butt.
What a line. What a fucked up
So
line.
he's actually quoting Confucius there.
Boys hugging makes every yearbook funny.
Homophobia? Said boys hugging makes every yearbook funny. Like just the fact that they're hugging, like that's funny.
What is that sound?
The voice acting on that. Oh my god. Gorillas do not sound like that.
Can we get another take, bro? That was not it. That was the furthest thing from a gorilla.
What? Gorilla attack.
Gorilla attack.
What? You sounded so
What?
Yeah, that's fucking
Gorilla
hilarious.
attack.
What? Oh my lord!
Now, for the ghost child.
This gorilla says no to pedophiles.
This gorilla's awesome. Danny is just asleep through all of this.
Yeah, the gorilla is literally carrying.
Internalized homophobia be like,
What?
Tell our readers what you're working on now.
Well, it's called the Ghost Gabber.
mansplaining. Oh my god. Dad, you're mansplaining. Yeah, having that giant like sign that says Danny's bedroom kind of led them into this trap. If he didn't have Danny's bedroom on the door, I don't think